Hey friends, today we're talking about adding integers, so make sure that you copy this title in your notebook, adding integers. Okay, so let's look at these integers on a number line. -5 plus -2. Let's start at -5. If I add a -2, then I'm getting more negatives, so I'm at -7. For example, here I have 5 negatives. I put 2 more on, and now I have 7 negatives. Let's look at another one. I have -10 plus 6. So here's -10. And the 6 is positive, so I'm going in the right direction. In this one, I went left because they were negatives. So this time, I'm going right. And I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I stop at -4. Let's look at what that looks like. I have 10 negatives. Every positive cancels out a negative. So my 6 positives would overlap with these negatives to give us a total of 4 negatives, which is the same thing that we got on our number line. So my answer is -4. Over here, we're starting at -3, and we're adding 9, so we're going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we stop at 6. So we're saying that our answer is 6. So to visualize this, we have 3 negatives, and then we add 9 negatives. So these 3 overlap with these 3 positives, and we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positives. Okay, the next part I want you to write in your notebook. You can add integers without a number line, and these are the rules. Please copy down these rules right now. Pause the video, copy them down, and then I'm going to explain it. Okay, same sign. You add the numbers and use their common sign. Different signs, you take the difference between the numbers. Use the sign of the greater absolute value. I'm going to show you what I mean. Here we have different signs. So I'm going to put a D. Here we have a -1 and a -6, so they're the same signs. Here we have different signs. Here we also have different signs. And here we have same signs. So let's start with same. They told us in the previous slide to take the sign that they share in common, which would be in this case a negative, and then add them together. If I have -1 and -6, I have -7. Let's look at that on the number line. I start at -1, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more negatives. Okay, let's look at this one. If I start at -7, I'm getting 2 more negatives. So we take the sign that they share and add them together. 7 plus 2 is 9. What about different signs? They told us to take the sign of the bigger number. So when we're looking at these in terms of their absolute value, -8 is further from 0. If we're looking at -8 on the number line, he's further from 0 than +4 is. So we have a negative, and then we subtract them. So 8 minus 4 is 4. Let's look at it with the number line. -8, and I go +4, and I'm at -4. Over here, who's got the bigger absolute value? 6 or -7? Well, -7 is further from 0. So take the sign of the -7, and then we subtract. 6 from 7 is 1. So if I started at 6, and I went back 6, and then 7, I'm at -1. Over here, who's got the bigger absolute value? -4 or +9? +9 is further from 0, so my sign is going to be positive, and I go back 1, 2, 3, 4, because 9 minus 4 is 5. Do I need this plus sign in front of the 5? No, because we assume that it's positive. Okay, so make sure that you copy some of these down, at least a few examples. All right, now let's look at what do you do when you have more than one number being added. Well, I start with the common signs. So 32, negative 22, and negative 4 all share the same sign. So I know that it's going to be negative. And 30 with 20 makes 50. And 2, 2, and 4 make 8. So I'm at negative 58, which is correct when I look at my answers over here. In example 2, negative 12 and negative 25 share a common sign. But 8 is positive, so let's wait for him. We've got 10 and 20, which makes 30, and 2 and 5 makes 7, so we have negative 37. Bring down your plus 8. Now we have different signs, so take the sign of the 37 because it's bigger, and subtract 8 from 37, and you get negative 29. All right. You try these, and I will be back in just a second to show you what I did. Okay, be wary of number 8. We're going to save that one for last. In this one, they have different signs, so when I subtract, I take the sign of the 30 because it's the greater absolute value, meaning it's further away from 0, and I get 7. Over here, 93 has the greater absolute value, so it's going to be a negative, and 93 minus 86 is 7. So negative 7. These two have the same sign, so when I add them together, I get 92, but because they're both negative, I take the negative sign. Negative 47 and 0. Remember, 0 has neither a positive nor a negative sign, but the number stays itself when you add 0. Skip this one. These two have the same sign, so it's negative, and 195 make 195. Think about these negatives as being debt. I'm in debt $100, and now I'm in more debt. So I'm in debt $195. Now, this one's tricky. This symbol out here means negative. This symbol here means negative. So it's kind of what we call a not. It ends up being a positive. Like if I say I'm not going to the store, then I am going to the store. It's grammatically incorrect, so we have to fix it before we can work with it. So this ends up being a positive 20 plus a negative 46. So take 20 away from 46 and we get 26, and it's negative because the 46 has the greater sign. And those are our answers for those examples. Okay, so parentheses are different than absolute value. When we are working with multi-step problems, we have to first handle all the absolute values, okay? So leave the 2. This says negative 4's absolute value, which is 4. This says negative 7's absolute value, which is 7. Bring down the sign in between them, and bring down your positive 2. Now they all have the same signs, so 6 plus 7 is 13. Over here we have one of those crazy ones, right? Do the negative 3 first, and then the sign outside of the absolute value tells you he's negative. Bring down your positive 8, and then negative 17's absolute value is 17 away from 0. Add these two together first because they have the same sign. So we get 25. And 25 minus 3 is 22. Different signs. Take the sign of the greater absolute value and subtract. Okay, you try 3 and 4 for me, and I'll be back in just a second to show you what I did. Make sure you're always checking your work with a red pen. All right, bring down your 8 plus. You've got a negative 7, so this is 7 because it's the absolute value. So 8 and 7 make 15, and 15 plus 9 makes 24. Over here, we have 7 minus 2 plus the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So first add your positive 7 and your positive 5 and get 12. And 12 minus 2, they have different signs. This is like normal subtraction. Different signs, so take the sign of the greater absolute value and subtract, and we get 10. And that's all I've got for you today. I'll see you next time.